Have you ever wondered what happens when wealth isn't just an advantage, but the very foundation of power? When the richest few don't merely influence laws, they write them. When aren't policies just shaped by the privileged but designed for their benefit? This isn't just a modern concern, it's an ancient pattern that has echoed through history. Over 2,300 years ago, Aristotle dissected a form of government he called oligarchy, ruled by the wealthy elite. Through his profound work Politics, he detailed how such a system emerges, consolidates power, and ultimately sows the seeds of its own downfall. As you explore Aristotle's analysis, you might recognize unsettling similarities to the world around you. The concentration of wealth, the dominance of money in politics, the quiet erosion of democracy, all seem eerily familiar. But Aristotle's insights are more than just observations, they are warnings. If we understand the blueprint of oligarchy, we might just recognize its patterns before they tighten their grip. To grasp Aristotle's perspective on oligarchy, we first need to understand his classification of political systems. In his systematic approach, he identified 6 forms of government, split into 2 categories: true regimes, which aim at the common good, and their corrupted counterparts, which serve the ruler's interests alone. Among the true forms, monarchy stands as the rule of one, guided by virtue for the benefit of all. Aristocracy follows, where the most capable, those Aristotle called aristos, the best, govern wisely. Lastly, there is polity, a balanced system blending democracy and oligarchy under the safeguard of laws to prevent any faction from dominating the rest. But for each of these, there is a darker reflection. Monarchy can decay into tyranny, where a ruler serves only himself. Polity can degenerate into democracy, not the idealized version we might imagine, but one ruled by mass impulse, devoid of legal constraints, prone to instability, and susceptible to demagoguery. And aristocracy, the rule of the virtuous few, can twist into oligarchy, the rule of the wealthy, where money, not merit, dictates power. Oligarchy, Aristotle tells us, emerges when a society ceases to value virtue and instead elevates wealth as the primary measure of influence. Where aristocracy selects its leaders based on wisdom and dedication to the common good, oligarchy hands power to those with the deepest pockets. What begins as a mere economic disparity transforms into a political monopoly. The ruling elite shape laws to fortify their position, ensuring that their wealth continues to expand while the rest remain powerless. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It is a slow erosion, almost imperceptible at first. Perhaps wealth starts as just one criterion among many for leadership, but over time, it becomes the only one. Perhaps leaders initially act in the public interest but gradually prioritize their own. Aristotle observed that oligarchies, much like tyrannies, use power to serve their rulers rather than the wider society. Yet, unlike tyrannies, which rely on brute force, oligarchies maintain their dominance through financial control, buying influence, manipulating laws, and subtly steering the political landscape in their favor. An oligarchy sustains itself by ensuring that political participation remains out of reach for the common people. High property requirements for office, extravagant campaign costs, and a political system designed to favor the elite, these are hallmarks of an oligarchic rule. By cloaking itself in the appearance of legality, oligarchy maintains the illusion of stability, yet Aristotle warned that it is among the most fragile of regimes. Why? Because oligarchies are inherently self-serving. The wealthy elite use their power to pass laws that favor their own interests, securing government contracts, maintaining monopolies, and creating regulations that stifle competition. Some oligarchies evolve into extreme forms where the wealthiest wield unchecked power, ignoring even the pretense of serving the common good. In these cases, decision-making is entirely dictated by the ruling class, while the rest of society is left to endure the consequences. A crucial trait that oligarchies share with tyrannies is their deep-seated distrust of the people. To maintain control, they suppress dissent, sometimes subtly, sometimes overtly. Aristotle noted that oligarchs often seek to disarm the general population, employ foreign mercenaries for protection, and create economic conditions that drive the poor out of urban centers. By keeping the masses economically strained and politically voiceless, they reduce the risk of resistance. But oligarchy is not a monolith. Aristotle identified a spectrum within this system, ranging from mild forms, where power is shared among the moderately wealthy, to extreme versions where only the richest few hold any influence. Regardless of the form, the pattern remains: wealth leads to power, power protects wealth, and the cycle continues. So how does an oligarchy come to power? Aristotle saw it as a gradual shift, one where economic disparity quietly morphs into political dominance. At first, the accumulation of wealth leads to increased influence. Over time, policies are shaped to favor the wealthy, reinforcing their economic advantage. Eventually, a society that once prided itself on balance and fairness finds itself controlled by an elite whose main goal is to perpetuate their own status. Once entrenched, oligarchs employ various strategies to maintain their grip. They shape laws to protect their wealth, control the media to influence public perception, and use their economic power to limit social mobility. Education, once a pathway to advancement, becomes a privilege of the few. Political office, once open to those with merit, becomes accessible only to those with financial backing. Over generations, the ruling class consolidates its power, creating an insurmountable divide between the elite and the rest of society. But Aristotle was clear: oligarchies do not last. They are inherently unstable, second only to tyrannies in their short lifespan. The very greed that fuels them also sows their destruction. As wealth concentrates at the top, discontent brews below. The divide between the rulers and the ruled grows wider until, inevitably, the system fractures. Revolt often emerges from within, the elite turn on each other, factions form, and the struggle for control weakens the oligarchy's foundation. Or the people, long oppressed, reach a breaking point. Throughout history, oligarchies have fallen not just to revolutions but to their own internal decay. The children of the elite, raised in luxury and removed from hardship, often lack the resilience of their ancestors. Meanwhile, the disenfranchised, hardened by struggle, gain the strength to challenge the system. At this point, you might be asking, do Aristotle's warnings apply today? Consider the world around you. Look at the laws: do they serve the common good, or do they disproportionately benefit the wealthy? Observe the political landscape. Does access to power require merit, or does it demand immense financial backing? Who truly holds influence over policymakers, the people, or a select few with deep pockets? Aristotle's insights are not relics of the past, they are timeless observations about the nature of power. His warnings about oligarchy serve as both a diagnosis and a call to awareness. No society is immune, but awareness is the first step toward change. What do you think? Do Aristotle's reflections resonate with your observations of the modern world? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this exploration valuable, consider supporting our work. Your engagement helps bring these ancient yet vital ideas to a wider audience. Thank you for being part of this journey. Let's continue uncovering the wisdom of the past to illuminate the present.